see and hear us. And if you can't see and hear us, obviously now is the time to let us know. If you can't see or hear us, you have no idea what I just said. So, yes, there we go. So, I hope you know who we all are. I am Mod Matt K, this is Mod Reach, Mod Ash, and Mod John C is sitting in the back there doing the technical stuff today.
Or relaxing in a chair.
Or relaxing in a chair, yes.
It's a software industry.
It was more the technical stuff, but what that means is it's been done for me, so I'm just going to sit back, relax, and maybe push a few sliders if it goes wrong.
So, right, what we're going to do, we are obviously here to answer all your questions. We have a whole load of questions from Twitter, which I gathered earlier, so we're going to go through those first, and then after that, feel free to ask any questions in the chat that you like. We'll do our best to answer as many as possible. We haven't got anything new to show you today, because we've just released it all. So if we could show them stuff we've released, there's very little point in that, because you can see it for yourselves.
We do have a very little amount of mapping being done towards the Motherlode mine. I've tweeted the odd picture, but there's nothing there other than a cave with half the walls missing so far.
I could hear echo in. Hang on, I'll be back in a second.
Oh, so the technical role for John has been absolved.
Well, I could just sit here and slurp my tea very loudly for the players to enjoy.
Or we could look at a few questions very quickly over here. Okay.
Oh, yes.
At the moment there are no questions.
We could go through these questions.
We could just steal Matt's role.
So these are the things that Matt's been tweeted over the course of the day from you guys, hopefully you guys. What have we got? Hi Matt, is it possible to make the compass a one-click north to north? Thanks, Keen68. The answer to that one is there's a command that the engine team created for rotating the camera to whatever angle we like. I attached it to the compass years ago, about 2009, not for any particular reason other than I thought it would help people remember we'd got a compass, really. If we can get that command again from the engine guys, then yeah, we can have that clicking on the compass again. Another thing that's been asked for is to be able to get the compass back like it was in 2005 and 4 with NSEW on it, an orange compass with all 4 cardinal points rather than just the beige thing with N on. I was looking into whether we could do that as well.
I thought I was an idiot. I thought you said compost.
No,
I'm about to say compost north. I don't know what you mean, but okay, compass. Okay.
Yeah.
No, watching Matt try and fix that camera was quite funny though.
Yeah, you guys are missing a trick.
It's like I'm gonna look at all the buttons and see what they do.
So,
How does that sound?
oh, do you hear us better now? Please say.
Yeah. If the echo's gone, let us know. It does take the stream is about 8 or 9 seconds behind at least.
Okay.
So just sit back, wait a bit. They want to know where your mug's gone though.
Oh, I was feeling a bit off colour today, so I wanted a bigger one. It's big. Question from the
Yes, it's better.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah,
Okay.
they say it looks better.
So here's a question from the Little Mower. Jagex Matt K, what's the deal with the Dragon Defender? There's been a bit of support for it in the Twitch chats, and Reach tweeted a mock-up.
I did.
Yes.
It
what
was
did you make it from?
It was the Keris but red. The idea came from 2007 Escape Wiki. No, I posted an image on Twitter, but there was a lot of negative feedback towards it. Not so much the model, but the idea of a Dragon Defender. So the Twitch chat seems to be quite isolated in their support. I don't know. I guess that's one for a poll to see where that one really goes, because Twitch really likes it, but Twitter and the 2007 Escape Reddit didn't.
It gets asked for a lot. I guess if we can get a firmer idea of where people would like it to come from, then we'll have something concrete to poll.
Yeah.
That might be a thing to find out next few days, maybe. Okay, so Wiggled says 2 different barrage splats. One for when you freeze somebody and one for when they're already frozen, you just hit on them.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
No, really.
Yep, we can find a different graphic for that, or make it not use the humongous cuboid thing.
That's cool. I wish I had a pen now and I could
know,
put a
I
tick
never
next
did
to that
like
one.
that.
Yes. Okay, Odd Development, he says, what does it take to get an internship as a programmer at Jagex? OSRS, for instance, well, of course.
Funny thing that, we ran internships back in 2004. I say we, I mean I was very new myself at the time. I came to a company that was also running them on the side. And we got about 4 interns in and set them writing a quest or 2 quests each over the course of the summer holiday. Mod Dylan was supervising them. Dylan's the guy who wrote the Elemental Workshop series and all the elf quests. Genius programmer. And he was also very good at training, so he looked after the interns. Out of those interns, we got Throne of Miscellanea, we got Monkey Madness, we got Tybro One Eye Trio, and we got the Hunter skill. We also got something that turned into Desert Treasure. The trouble is with all this is that Dylan, who is a very top of the range programmer himself, he spent the entire summer looking after these new guys and tidying up their code behind them, because you can't actually train somebody up to speed and set them writing in a matter of just weeks. It takes longer than that. So the amount of time Jagex had to put into using newbies was actually greater than the amount of work we got out the newbies. I won't say didn't get some great ideas, like Monkey Madness is a genius piece of writing, even if the code is
horrific,
not to current standard, putting it politely. So, given that what we've got is you guys, who are perfectly capable of sending us your ideas just fine, it's actually a lot more efficient if you send us your ideas and we can already program, so we can put them together fairly quickly to current standard, using the ideas we get from wherever you like.
I think also our HR team are looking to sort of get more involved with internships and people who are, studying really sort of industry-specific courses at the universities. So because internships really give a really good insight to those people, and they get the experience. And having just 3 months in the industry is a massive step towards remaining in the industry afterwards.
Yeah, totally. The other thing about working for Old School is we're using a 2007 version of in-house programming language. As industry-specific skills go, that's pretty darn specific, because there's 2 people in Jagex who need to use that version of the language. It's not something we can easily translate to other jobs in future. Internships on RS3, if you were going to be here long enough to be worth training up and using, I could see that working a lot better.
I think, if you do want to find out more about internships, the place to look would be on jagex.com/careers or jobs or some word of that similar ilk. But it's all on jagex.com, and there'll be plenty of information there if you want to get involved in that. That sounded almost professional, didn't it?
I was just about to say, what I expected is a little tagline come up at the bottom of the screen, and then we move on.
Yeah, so exactly.
If John wants to do that.
No, he's
not even watching.
He's ninja tweeting. Exactly.
Now, Jack A. Sullivan asks, any form of anti-raggers tool on PK Worlds? Now, what we currently got planned, or what's gone out already, is we've dealt with the crystal bows, and eating the rock spam thing, isn't it? So
yes.
Using a rock on yourself and get that spam. We're hopefully at some point in the future going to be looking at making sure that your target and yourself are always on top of a pile of people, so that you can't have people hide your health bar, for example. But that does involve some engine work, and we need to sort of talk to them sort of what needs to happen there. But that's something else we're looking at. Anything else you think, guys, would help towards anti-ragging? Please do let us know. We get a lot of people saying sort ragging, but very few suggestions of how we can do it. And you guys will have the ideas, I'm sure. So please do mention that to us. Certainly. Got anything to add?
Just that if we start putting in restrictions to stop people being nasty in various ways, you do run the risk of us restricting something that you actually liked doing, such as killing people in the usual way.
Yes. I suppose the ultimate anti-ragging tool would be to stop PvP, but...
we did that before in 2007 or 8. Let's not do that again.
Yes, let's not. Okay, next one. Oh, God, your name. Bryce Raw Z. There we go. If I were to max on Old School, would I have access to the high-level forum? And will there be total skill required worlds? Who wants to take that one?
I don't really think there's much need to have total, a minimum level in order to get on a certain world, much like RS3 does. And the current max players on Old School, unless already maxed on RS3, do not have access to the high-level forum.
Yeah.
That's not a decision made by us. That's a decision made by, I think, the curator of the high-level forum.
Yeah. I think we get enough max players, we can open up our own forum. But I think there's 7 or 8, John, or no? 6.
I think Ren's recently maxed yesterday, so that's obviously 6, which is still not enough to warrant us making a max cape, let alone making a forum. So. Yes.
If they've done mining, they deserve it.
But yeah, a forum with 6 people in it would not be very exciting. So we'll do our own when we got enough people up there, and hopefully it won't be too long. Right, what else we got? RS Tenerife says, any idea when RuneFest 2014 will be announced and where it will be held? And will there be any kind of corporeal beast boss?
At RuneFest.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
I want that.
Yeah, a corporeal beast at RuneFest. That would be quite nice.
You're more likely to have any
Yeah.
RuneFest news than we are.
At the moment, there's nothing new to say on RuneFest, and as soon as we do, obviously it will get. First thing you hear will probably be through a news post, I'd imagine.
What month was it when they announced RuneFest 2013?
Oh, I don't know.
Like August?
I honestly don't know.
It was quite late, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't this early.
But as soon as obviously news does happen, there will be a post on the RuneScape website, and I'd imagine we'll be doing one as well, because we'd love to see loads of you guys at RuneFest as well. I also had a question tweeted, which I didn't put on here, so can you have RuneFest in Nashville, which would be amazing.
Where is this?
Nashville's in
It's
America.
in Tennessee, I think.
Yeah, Nashville is a great music place. It's,
I'd like to go
it's
there.
where my guitar came from, Nashville. So I would love that, but I can't see it happening as much as I'd want to. It's a shame. Anyway, so RuneFest, keep an eye on the website, and when we've got news, we will tell you about it. Corporeal Beast, you can talk about that, because that's what you like, isn't it?
The very next boss I can do will be the Court Beast. I would like the Court Beast to be exactly as you remember, both graphically and mechanically. Whilst I can give you a mechanical working Corporal Beast, I cannot give you a graphical Corporal Beast.
Beige Jad.
Unless you don't mind a beige Jad, which I would really rather not do. At the moment, the engine guys are working on a converter for us, so we can take the RS3 model, including the animation labels, and transfer it to our game, so we can have a working corp. At the moment, though, they are having some trouble with that, but and I haven't actually got any new updates on it from them. But that is being worked on. I would like corp. Corp doesn't necessarily. I'm seeing the comments going through. Corp doesn't necessarily translate to spirit shields. It just translates to having a boss to kill. The drops we give it are entirely, up for debate. If you don't want spirit shields but want a corp, I can give you a corp without spirit shields. Spirit shields do not have to come into the game just because we introduce a corp. I see no reason why not to give you an awesome boss. We could just have other drops.
Well, at this rate, we've got a corp that drops the Dragon Defender, right?
Yeah, I mean, even so. So, corp doesn't mean spirit shields. It just means having a really big, awesome boss to stab.
Why don't you tell them about the artist?
Oh, actually, yeah, this is good news. A while ago, we announced that we hired an artist, and unfortunately, he fell through. He didn't. He rejected the invitation in the end. As of the other day, I don't know specifically what day, but as of the other day, we actually have hired an artist. He will be starting with us in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah.
And the very first job I have for him is to model us a court beast. So he will be starting very soon, and I imagine the moment we can put him in front of the on this sofa to show off to all you guys, we will be doing so, and you can bug him to make you a court beast then.
He's a keen old school player already. I think you might remember some of his interests in the game.
I think, wasn't he a pure?
Yeah, he was a pure
yeah.
PK, and which
So-
is always good to
Well,
have
yeah.
PK
You guys-
yours.
I
Well-
respectfully disagree.
I'm sure you guys can express your views
Yeah.
about Pures when he gets on this sofa.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And hello to him if he's watching.
Yeah. So we finally have an artist. We hopefully will finally have an artist. He also won't fall through, but in 2 weeks' time we will have somebody making new models for us.
Which is
New models
fantastic.
doesn't mean we're improving the graphics. It just means we're making more of them.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes, need a new mod count, says Eero, and you're not wrong. But yeah, no, so 22nd of April is his start day. It'll probably take a couple of weeks, I'd imagine, to get him up to speed, to get him in front of the camera, because we obviously don't want to scare him away too quickly. So hopefully you can start sort of getting to know a bit more about him by the end of April, which will be really quite cool.
Yes,
So-
we look forward to guiding him through his first forum posts to introduce himself.
Yes, it'll be exciting times. So that's good. We dropped that one in there quite nicely, didn't we? Okay, let's see what we have got now. Ray the Noob says, is it possible to give us more time picking up minigame items after death? Or give us an NPC that can sell them to us? I think this followed up on that saying he'd been void blocked, which sounds rather rude, but you know
I
what
think
it
I see
really
what he
is.
means.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know what he means.
When we released Purdue, the dwarf who sells you commonly requested items like your ectofile after you've died, we said at the time he's only going to do these items. He won't do any of the minigame stuff because whereas Purdue currently devalues going back to the quest NPC and maybe paying a few coins there, which isn't really much gameplay, people might have felt it was a bit more controversial to devalue the minigame by letting you get the item back without ever having to go to the minigame again. Either way, we're good either way on it, but we'd have wanted to poll it first. So yeah, if you'd like to see those items re-obtainable from, say, Purdue, so that you could get them back by paying a largish sum, then we could offer that. Or if you'd rather get them back from the minigame by maybe paying some kind of insurance system to say, I've got it, now in future I can claim it back again as many times as I like on payment of a fee. We could write it like that with a premium and a deductible. We're open to whatever you prefer, really. Make it stay on the ground longer would be simple, although I'm not sure it would ever be long enough for what you had in mind, and we'd need to involve the engine team to even change how long it appears for. So let us know how you feel. I'm seeing a few people say no void buyback. On the other hand, whoever wrote this question seems to feel otherwise.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so what else have we got? Ray the Noob again. Is it possible to increase the MM skeletal spawn rate to high in all worlds? I think that sort of replies to something we answer every week, isn't it, about spawn rates?
And we put an item on the engine wish list for being able to do that with NPCs.
Here we go, job done.
And hopefully we'll see it done.
Yes. Now here's one which is a good one for Ash again, surprisingly enough. Oh So Naughty
I'll sit back.
says, yeah, just relax, mate. Do chins give HP XP from just one thing that you're attacking, or all the things it hits?
Pretty sure it's all the things.
It is.
There we go. Answer that one nice and easily. Gary13931 says, a bit of a disclaimer to start with, not my idea.
That's always a good reason to send us a question.
Yeah, just a reminder from last night's stream, a toggle button for randoms, maybe as a checklist. So you could turn randoms on and off, because we've spoken quite often about taking randoms away and putting them, but always that concern about people wanting them to get the items.
Yeah, if we retired all the randoms, then we could still make some of those emotes or whatever available in other ways. It could be from the randoms that were there, or it could be from something else entirely, like a treasure trail, why not? Although that's a bit random, so maybe not that. So long as we can keep the items available in a way that people are happy with, and the emotes and things like that, then I'd actually like to just see the whole lot put into a retirement home or a zoo, depending on how kind you're feeling, or a prison, or maybe a torture chamber. And I can just imagine Molly and all those evil twins.
Yes, and all the randoms downstairs, yes. That'd be quite
I just have Molly in a cage with all the random twins pointing really sharp things at her.
Yeah.
We could easily do the graphics for Molly stuck up her own claw.
Oh, for God's sake. In before the lols start rolling.
So,
what they were suggesting last night is maybe they could have their own toggles so they could turn them on and off. And then that solves
Is that
things.
so when you do an AME to everybody, they don't get a random?
That might also be...
well, that might just be you. But if we retired all the randoms and then let people opt into the ones they actually wanted, that could work. It'd be a bit weird, but it could work.
Yes, we need to do a Molly emote as well when the new artist comes.
There's a heck of a lot of what you get stuck up a claw or something.
No, there's a video thing with Snoop Dogg who does dance into a song about Molly because he's looking for Molly all the time. And
Something
it
to
seems
look
to be
on
quite
YouTube,
popular.
kids.
So we probably ought to do that emote at some point when the chappy.
I need to
chappy
make a
turns
teabagging emote first. Oh, I'm doing it. Dina's insisted for years that we have a teabagging emote.
I'm sure if you bury bones, it does make you do that kind
Oh,
of
no,
motion.
not enough. When you kill somebody in the wilderness, not only do we have a name wasn't strong enough for you, I want you to step over their body and bag them. So yeah, I'm going to make that emote when I can.
Things I never thought we'd say on a live stream.
Press 1 for teabagging emote. There you go. Doing a Raj. Everybody press 1 for teabagging emote.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm seeing a lot of people agree with me here already, just with the lols.
Yes.
1 for teabag emote. We'll see how that he come through there.
Let's file that along with the Kim Jong-un hairstyle we promised the other week.
Yes, yeah, let's do that.
Oh, wait for the
dirty,
ones.
dirty,
Look at all the
Dirty
ones.
Barrow's uncle.
We're doing it. Bagging emote. I'll be sure to tweet it out as a GIF.
yes.
I can't believe.
If that artist's watching and he doesn't want to join us anymore, then we will know why.
Look at the ones. The ones are saying it all.
Right.
Community driven.
What's that next thing you got on that list?
Next question is by Oh So Naughty again. It says, was anything not included in the future content poll discussed in your meeting yesterday, which was Tuesday? I think there's only one thing that we discussed which wasn't.
Well, to be honest, a lot of things aren't included in it because it was a rather specific meeting.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of the meeting was around how we could deliver what you guys wanted us to deliver, so the details behind it, which we'll come back to in more detail once we know once it's the right time to do it. If you see what I mean. We did discuss a few. Oh, right, maybe not. once. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know.
We'll
what
come
you're
back to you in
gonna
more detail once everyone's agreed to what's going on with that, and we all know exactly what we're doing, and everyone's on board with it. So we'll come back to you in more detail there. But I think we discussed one thing that we can't talk about just yet. But other than that, it was pretty much of a muchness, I think.
Well, we've already discussed something I thought we weren't allowed to talk about in
Yes.
public on this stream.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we're pretty much everything we talked about in the meeting that we had, which was all day long, was the stuff that you guys told us was important. Because that was the most important thing to us to make sure we could deliver it all. So,
And frankly, if there's not a lot we talk about at all that isn't stuff you guys are asking for, because there's nothing else that we do.
yes, that's very true.
It's more, as Matt said, the stuff that you've already asked for, the typical things such as clan wars and bounty hunter and how we're going to do those, as well as a few more things that we're going to keep under wraps, just for the time being, to see if other people are happy with us doing them, and a few other strategic things such as engine jobs and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. What else we got? Oh, so Notty yet again. He says, "Where do you see the game in 2 years from now?" Go.
Same as where it is right now, if not more people.
Sounding good to
By
me.
that point, we'll have an artist. Hopefully, we'll have a bit more engine support.
We want that.
In the form of maybe a dedicated engine developer. We may even have more CM, Dev, and QA. We don't know. We might actually have a team of 10 people by that point.
Yeah.
In which case, we can really sort of be
Pile on
really
this sofa.
Yeah, we can really squeeze up on the sofa, or we can be really innovative and sort of bring some crazy ideas to you.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you get from this. We think it's going to be bigger. We think it's going to be better. So that's what we see in 2 years' time, which is what I hope you want to hear. What else we got? Why were there 6 chairs in the meeting, not 4?
That's how big the room was in the hotel.
There were 6 chairs in it. Someone put our feet, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
we thought at one point that we'd take the chairs out of the room that they'd left us and bring in the more comfy ones they got outside the gents. Because they got some lovely chairs outside the gents' toilet where no one wanted to hang out. And if we just brought those in, it could be even more comfy. But we'd have been a bit lower down under the table.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of conspiracy on Twitter about that. It's like, who are the 2 new people? And it wasn't. We went to a hotel where they provided us with 6 chairs, even though there were 4 of us.
Yes.
I did use one as a footrest all day. So
Well, in spirit, the artist we could have imagined the artist sitting at one of them and passed him the biscuits occasionally. Or,
although arguably we do have 6 people now.
We do have 6 people
Yeah.
now. I
Yeah,
think we
this
probably
is
ought to tell them about the 6th person.
Yeah.
yes.
So we've actually expanded even more. So somebody else. Do you want to introduce him?
Well, you do it.
Okay, we do actually have a 6th person, so technically if we did have the entire team now, including the artist and the 6th person, that 6th chair would have been filled. We have somebody from the anti-cheating team downstairs now working with us permanently, behind us, sitting with us as part of the team.
Yeah.
It's his job to nuke all the hijackers, all the bots, full-time, without interruption from any other team. The team he was on before was obviously dedicated to this, but they obviously had a lot of other things to be doing, which meant that his priorities sometimes got a bit skewed. Now he's sitting with us, his priority is solely to get rid of bots, to get rid of hijackers, and to secure the game.
Yeah.
With this person doing this, it means we can do things and start looking more seriously at things like free-to-play. Obviously, I'm seeing free-to-play come up a lot in the comments right now. With this guy doing this for us, some of you might already know who he is. I mean, I won't announce him just yet. I'll let him do that himself, because I'm not entirely sure if he wants to be made public. But with him doing this full-time, this is a step in the right direction to us getting free-to-play. Without him doing this, we wouldn't get free-to-play, so we are moving towards free-to-play with this move.
Yeah. Cool. I suppose on free-to-play as well, we probably ought to expand on that a bit, is that once we have got the bots sorted out, which we're heading towards, once we've got the cheating sorted out, once we've got the hijacking sorted out, then we can start talking more to you guys about what free-to-play is, what it needs to look like, and then we can have a big conversation around that and take it from there. And it's not Jack Mob.
No. He comes and
Sorry.
goes when he pleases, and he does what he needs to when he pleases.
And he does stuff for us
Yeah.
when he pleases as
Yes.
well, which is really quite handy.
Yes.
We should be able to give you updated world maps soon.
I mean, I'll ask him if he wants us to make it known that it's him. Otherwise, he can tweet and let everybody know himself. Because he hasn't said that yet, I'm not going to,
Yeah, I mean, I sort
reveal
of
who he is.
foresee him getting a lot involved in you guys if that's the right way to do it. So it's up to you guys to find out the information from you, rather than having to go through us and find out what's important to you bot-wise and cheating-wise, and what's really getting on your goat, and come up with solutions to solve that. So all positive, all good. So that's 2 new people in one live stream, isn't it? That's quite scary.
There's no more after that, unfortunately.
Yes. Right, where else are we? I've lost track. Here we go. I am Zero. It says, can we have more bank space? At the moment, did you know, every player is forced, it says here, forced, he says, to get 73 construction. Man.
I mean, when I did put that check in to say you must get 73 construction or we'll perm ban you, I mean, I did do it with the intention that you must end up getting 73 construction or I'll perm ban you.
And that's because we're getting a cut whenever you buy planks.
Exactly. For every plank you convert, we take a cut.
Yep. That's why I got this lovely watch.
Yes.
So there's going to be some conspirator out there who's going to be, sure that what we're saying is true.
So the reason we haven't just said, "Oh, whoopee, let's stick up to 5,000 bank spaces," and because why not? The reason we haven't done that is that the more bank space there is, the more processing the game needs to do when you rearrange stuff in your bank. And at the moment, it's already doing quite a bit. When bank tabs comes out, it's going to have to do quite a bit more because it's got to be able to handle the items being in different tabs. And the more processing it has to do, the sooner we hit the limit where the game just says, "This is too much. I must fit an infinite loop because it's never stopping." Crash. Avoiding that has been the main challenge to writing bank tabs. Once we've got bank tabs kind of working and stable and tested, we'll be able to put the limit up without having to, and we'll be able to see whether we've hit it again. So we'll know how much bank space we can safely give you. So that's what's going on. Bank tabs is, I think, everyone's top priority. And once that's stable, we can experiment by taking the limit of the bank up, because we won't be at risk of hitting future limits so badly like that.
Cool. Kid I'm Slaying says, can we have a right-click teleport option for glorious Slayer rings, etc.?
While they're equipped, yeah.
Yeah, while they're equipped.
We can.
Sure.
It's going to be a bit of a hack because we can't use the param system I used last time I wrote it for the other RuneScape, but we can make it happen.
Cool. RSN Eero says, would you think of adding a progression bar on the homepage so people know what you're working on currently?
I saw Eero actually mention something of the sort to me the other day. What he was saying was, if we're working on a new project, let's just say Slayer for the sake of Slayer, you could see we could update it to say we're at 25% of the way through, 50% of the way through, 76% of the way through, 92% of the way through. The only problem I see with that is we'd have to remember to update it.
Yes, that's probably the biggest challenge.
If we got to 100% and then found that we couldn't release it straight away, you might be waiting another week, at which point you're seeing 100%, and we might have 5-6 things in development. So are we to have 5 or 6 bars which take up the homepage? It's not a bad idea in concept, but I don't think it's a realistic thing for us to be maintaining.
Okay, now we use Jira to manage our development process.
Yeah.
And the way Jira works is it moves a job from when it's made to through the different stages of getting it released. So it goes into development, it then goes into Q&A, and then back to development, back to Q&A, and then back to development. Usually does that a few times. And then it goes into ready to be released and all that sort of stuff. And it goes through this whole different sets of stages. Now, it could be possible for us to automate that out onto a web page maybe, so they can see the titles of what we're working on and where it falls within the development process.
Darn, we're going to have to use more professional titles for all our Jira jobs.
I was just about to say I can't make any more offensive comments on my Jira jobs, where I'm like, saying, why is it still broken?
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't necessarily need to have all the detail of it, but if it's just the titles that could be displayed, then that may well give you guys an idea of where certain jobs are within the sort of the job stream that we work with.
Certainly show them these have been started, these haven't been started, this one's in testing, this one's not in testing. The thing is, what you'd mostly see is Easter would be in development for day after day after day after day after day. Then suddenly Easter is in testing, and then the next day Easter is ready to launch.
Yes.
It wouldn't give you much more granularity than that unless we start going into breaking them down into sub-jobs like Easter the mapping, Easter the bunnies going back and forth, Easter the other things that need to be checked, like using a spade, just left-clicking the spade to be able to dig for the Easter bunny stuff. Unless we break it down manually, which takes a fair bit more paperwork, it wouldn't be very informative to you. Of course, if you want to know what we're doing, just follow us on Twitter. And every time we've done something, we tweet a picture of it, because
Yes.
that's what we do.
Yes.
And to be honest, if you were going to see the bugs that we were working on, what you would see is just one permanent Monkey Madness one that we haven't ever launched, because it's Monkey Madness.
You know, we really should do that.
There's that, and there's also, we accidentally tested it once by accident.
Well, yeah, we found that what we'd worked on wasn't quite right first shot, so I fixed it, and one day we will try and get the rest out.
Yeah.
Right, Plate Legs asks, can we ever see the air guitar emote in 07?
I went and had a look the other day, last time someone tweeted me about that. Couldn't find any sign of it having been created by the August 2007 archive point in either of the archives we've got, which means that we haven't got it in a 2007 format. We can't convert the RS3 one over, for reasons we've already covered in this stream, which means that until we've got an artist who can make it, we can't have it. Good thing is, ain't going to be that long till we've got an artist. Of course, there's a lot of things we want that artist to do, like we've said that the first thing he needs to do is the corporeal beast, and other people have said that the first thing he needs to do is redesign the shields you get from the wilderness bosses, and other people have said the first thing he needs to do is redesign
Something else.
or the
Yeah.
Mark of Grace outfit.
Yeah.
I think we might end up running a survey about what the first thing he needs to do is.
Most likely, most likely. And final question by Iso Notty yet again. Can we add staking options to the games room?
So you want to
call Rune Link.
Yeah, so when you're playing chess, you'd like to gamble GP on it. I don't see that being very popular because I
No.
don't know how many people have gone, I want to play chess, but I only want to do it if there's money involved.
You've already got those ranked games. Perhaps that will have to do for now.
Yes, I think so too. So, I'm out of questions. It's past. So, if you guys want to shout your questions out in the chat, then we will go and answer them.
RSB Matt's called you Mod Peach.
I know, he's also called you Mod Cash.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Got my name right, which is.
I think you at Mod something K. Cat K or something.
See? Okay.
I think you
I
might
usually
be...
get called Mod Cat or Mod Mark, and I still don't understand why. But
Well, you know,
there we
Matt,
go. No, I'm not Mod Mark.
Yeah, I actually forgot that during these streams we're supposed to answer questions from this thing
Yes.
because we've been doing so many other things during these
Yes.
previous streams.
Yes.
We actually don't have anything to show for once.
Obsidians as a task. That's a question by Mage's Fart.
I'll be up for that. That's a great name you got there, and I'm sure mages do fart. But yeah, Tsar creatures or something, they could be
Yeah.
it's their
I
category.
know there's been a lot of requests to have Jad as a specific task, so...
I'd like to do that Slayer challenge thing. Wouldn't have to do all the other challenges necessarily. The Calfight Queen one was cool. Jad is another cool one. We could see whether we want to do the other ones or maybe just invent some different ones entirely. Making somebody go kill some venom artists would be fun.
Why am I not getting visages from Steel Dragons, says Dooboo-Star.
You've talked to us again.
Yeah.
Oh, not that again.
They're very rare. They're 1 in 10,000, did you say? 1 in 10,000. So it's not a common drop you're going to come across. You might have killed 10,000 dragons, but then that's not the way statistics work. So keep killing and I guess you one day get one. I've never had one either, so...
I've only had 4.
Only.
I've played a lot.
Megamon80 was asking whether we could have the red and white portals, or at least was talking about them. Now, the red portal, that'd be Clan Wars free-for-all with item loss enabled. I'm not particularly keen to do that, because you guys got a wilderness, you guys got PvP worlds. It's not like the game was in 2009 or 10 when I created that arena in the first place. So I'm hoping you don't need the red portal. Even the white portal is a bit controversial, because we don't really want to take everyone out of the wilderness. So when we come to Pole Clan Wars, and I'm saying when, not if, what we were thinking of doing is offering you the challenged battles, the purple portal, and in a separate question offer you the white portal, and that way you can vote for one without automatically having to have the other one, and you get hopefully what it was you wanted.
Triple Z Snorlax says, can you show us the Underwater God Wars area? Inside the new Kraken's cave today is actually some scenery from the Underwater God Wars area, which includes the floating body on the water and the stalagmites and the boat that has somehow made its way into a cave.
The Kraken built it in there,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
And is impaled on some bigger stalagmites. Those are blue, and everything else in the underwater kit is also blue. What you see in that Kraken cave is pretty much identical to everything else in the Underwater God Wars dungeon.
Yes, it's
But-
blue in a nice brown
Yeah.
cave.
So, we can show you it, and we do intend to use some assets from that area. there's a really nice anglerfish in there that we could use for a new food in future, or a new boss or anything. I don't know. So we do intend to use the assets from it at least, but you know, we can show you the area if you want to. We can tweet it out later, but there's nothing really interesting in there. If you look at the stalagmites that I put inside the Kraken's cave today, that's pretty much everything that's in the underwater area.
OS Anaconda was asking whether the Clan Wars portals could be in the wilderness. The answer is, of course, they could be in the wilderness. After all, we did it in 2008, so we can do it again. The question would be whether they should be in the wilderness. Now, some people have said they liked it being in the wilderness because with the bank somewhere off to the west where the Bounty Hunter crater won't be, and the Clan Wars lobby is a safe area a bit to the east of that, near where the Boneyard no longer was, they could PK people who are going back and forth to the bank. On the other hand, there's been a lot of people saying they would actually like to be able to use Clan Wars without having to risk PvP as PKing them on the way to the bank. And there's other people who don't want to see a safe area splat in the middle of the wilderness where it's not meant to be safe, because you're chasing someone through the wilderness and they just walk into the Clan Wars lobby and loll at you. It's not quite how the wilderness used to be. So I think we're going to have to have a much bigger public debate about where Clan Wars ought to go, because at the moment opinions seem to be divided.
Yes. Someone was asking if RS3s have their Easter event.
I have no idea. Have they got one?
They do have one.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what it is, and I don't know if it's gone out yet. I imagine it will be going out
Probably
next
week,
week,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
That's not official, it's not confirmed, I don't know. I imagine it would be going out next week.
Yes.
Check RuneScape.com or something.
Wouldn't expect it to be any later than next week.
Yeah, it probably couldn't get away with it, to be honest.
Yeah, Easter is the Sunday the 20th of April.
Yes.
Somebody whose name is off the screen now, but quite a few people have asked for it, is an XP lock for skillers. We like the idea. It's definitely possible. It's been talked about for many, many years now. The problem we have is there seems to be some bias towards skillers, including from John.
He's making some very funny faces. It's a shame you're missing a treat, you guys.
That skillers should just deal with it if they get XP, of which I guess is part of the challenge of skillers, but obviously if you're a pure and you're working hard towards your desired stats and you accidentally get 2 defense, you consider your account ruined, you don't want to play anymore.
Start again.
So an XP lock is something that a lot of people would like, but again, we've polled a few things in the past which would give skillers access to things they wouldn't otherwise been able to have gotten access to, and that's put a lot of people off voting for it, and it's not, subsequently not passed.
One of the approaches that was talked about was letting you have the XP lock, but only for training XP. So if you switched into a defensive mode by mistake, then it wouldn't give you the XP because you'd locked it. But if you went and completed a quest that gives defense XP, you'd still get the XP. Now that would kind of balance most of the things, because the pures who don't want to accidentally get XP would be covered. The people who don't want pures to be able to complete, say, quests they're currently avoiding, they'd still be covered. The drawback is that we'd have to get that division perfectly intuitive, because if you sometimes get XP and sometimes don't, based on what we think a reward is as opposed to training XP, then we jolly well better get it right, and you jolly well better have the same interpretation we did, otherwise you're going to be very disappointed unexpectedly. So that's why we haven't gone there straight off.
Right, now, Martin 2007, he asked a little while back, so we'll try and remember this, what are we thinking about the new skill, what sort of ideas we have in now. What I think we want to do with the new skill is we want to put it to a player design content competition, so you guys will send in your ideas for a new skill. That seems the best way of doing it, because everyone's going to have their own idea, and once we get all the sort of entries in, we can look at the best ones we can find and then poll that out to you like we did with the last one, and you guys can decide what skill you want it to be and which idea is the best.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the best way round of doing it. So we're not suddenly saying let's do sailing or let's do.
We did technically say let's do sailing.
Yes, I do want to do sailing, but yeah, it's as fun as that would be. It's your decision, not ours. I think at the end of the day. There we go. In fact, the winner may well be sailing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have 10 sailing suggestions to put in.
Yes, they will have to jolly well specify where it's sailing to,
Yes.
because apparently my idea of where you sail to is a small island with a loony on it.
A number of them.
Oh yes, yes.
A number of separate loonies.
Mini Finbar says, could we possibly get bare-handed butterfly catching? High level
like that.
High level hunter lacks diversity, which is true. It does. I would like to have bare-handed butterfly catching, and maybe even a few other sort of variations of that, trying to catch other animals without.
We could give them big gloves with claws, and then they're barehanded.
Just Elite Hunter.
Yes, we could. We would like it. It's certainly possible. There's no reason why we couldn't. So yeah.
What's the drop rate of the Chaos Pets?
Secret.
That's a
It's
secret.
a secret for a bit longer.
Yes.
A lot of people have been
Yeah.
asking this recently, probably because John is very generous when it comes to giving you drop rates. For the drop rates of anything new, we generally tend to keep them to ourselves for the time being, so people can really experiment and theorise what they think the drop rates are. If we go out on day one and say this drop rate is 1 in 3,000, then it's not really anything to work towards, and people would then just be, disengaged and not really feel like it's worth it. So, we're not going to say it straight away, maybe a month afterwards, but
Yeah.
John seems to be very, very generous with telling you what things are, so, in a month's time, if John decides to tell you what the Chaos Elemental drop rate is, he decides to do so, and you can consider if it's worth getting or not, I guess.
Taking donations.
He's taking donations for it, apparently.
Yeah.
Waterfiend's asked for an assisting skill. Joni X has asked for a conception skill. Good luck with that, mate. I'm not quite sure what the grinding would be like. Conjuring skill, that could be quite interesting.
Oh dear. Conjuring skill, yeah, I like the sound of that one. That sounded quite
Yeah,
cool.
like you could try and spawn birds out your sleeves or something, which would actually have a use in
That would
RuneScape.
help with the conception skill.
I'm being quoted on saying the Callous Elemental Pet is 1 in 3,000. It's not 1 in 3,000. I
No.
use 3,000 as a random arbitrary number, but if you want to sort of quote me on that, be my guest.
Yeah, it would just be wrong.
Oh dear.
Oh, O-Triples wants declaws. Not for a skill, presumably.
Well, sort of what potion did you want Declaws to make?
You can make a super extended anti-fire potion.
Yeah, Dragon Claws could be a secondary ingredient to an extended anti-fire potion.
It could be
Yeah.
something you put on your wall in your house.
Yeah,
So
it could be a nice decoration. Don't know what else you'd want them to be, but yeah.
Game frame. There you go. There's a good question
Ah,
there
yes,
by
yes.
Blacky Seal. I look at it. Game frame.
Well, I'd rather like that. The good thing about the old game frames is that it's a 2D graphic and people have got pictures of it all over the internet, which means we can get it back, probably off your website. So the tricky thing is there's a lot of buttons turned up on the old school client that weren't there in 2004 and 5. Like report abuse got moved, we got friends chat channels, stuff like that. And of course the old game frame would need to allow you to access these things, because it would be a bit weird having all those features just taken away because you wanted an older style game frame. So what we'd want to do is take the old style game frame and try to build in those extra things, but in the same graphical style. So we don't need to have the smoothly polished edges to the stones that we've got in 2007, but we could try and keep the older version, but just have slightly more of them so that you don't lose out with all the things that you have received since that time. Now that's a fairly tricky arty job for an artist rather than for us, unless you're a secretly brilliant pixel artist and you never mentioned.
I am not. I can guarantee you I am not.
No, I'm certainly not. And I guess he ain't. So, for the moment, we're going to have to put that on hold for a bit. We could have considered it to be the first thing the artist's going to do, but apparently that's the corp.
Yeah, there's a long waiting list for him by the looks of it.
Yes.
Build my statue as well.
Well, at least you'll have job security.
Yeah, I guess.
Can be very, very busy.
Andy Foot says, "Is it possible for Old School to do large updates?" Certainly.
Today was pretty darn big. You got 2 new Slayer monsters. And,
Yeah, Slayer Monster,
3.
2 Slayer bosses. We did the entire Wilderness Rejuvenation. We've given you God Wars, Nightmare Zone, not Clan Wars yet, sorry, PvP Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do very big updates. We do plan on doing very, very big updates, and it is possible for us to do very big updates. I guess the size of the update and whether or not it's actually even happening is down to you. So, yes, it is possible for us to be, to produce big updates.
Yeah.
Bigger is better.
Now, the chap called No More Updates is obviously saying, as you can probably guess from his name, that he doesn't want any more updates. It's something we do here, and there's threads and forums that say they want the game to stay as it is. I think the problem we have is a lot of people would get quite bored with the game as it was when we had originally released it, and we wouldn't have so many players. And obviously, we think the more players we have, the happier you guys are, because the community is bigger, more vibrant, and exciting. And so we'll keep doing the updates because that's what most people seem to want. If suddenly the whole community turns around and says, no, stop with the updates, we're happy with it just the way it is, then we will go and do something else. But at the moment, I don't think we're there at the moment.
Because if you look at this stream, it's full of people saying, can we have this, can we have that, can we have Pokemons? No.
Oh, wow.
because they're not our IP for a start. And an update doesn't go in unless 75% of the voters actually say they would rather have it than not.
Yes.
So it does require the community to really get behind something to even get it.
Yes.
That's why we keep doing updates, because people ask for them.
Yes. Filter option for game chats. I know I ask this every time. I always forget the answer, and everybody asks me on a Wednesday night, and I'll go, I can't remember it. But I'll
The
catch
answer
tomorrow.
is we got the engine support for that a couple of weeks ago and launched it and then fixed the bug that came with it, which means that we could put it on any poll we like the next one.
Yeah. There you go.
Might be a job for you, that one.
Anders SK says, Penguin hide and seek, please. This has actually cropped up quite a lot recently, and I know Saber6, Erin, was very, very keen on us to do penguins.
We should do ducks instead.
Yeah, I did say to her I would change the penguins to ducks, so it'll be duck hunting. So you could just run around shouting duck, duck, goose or something, or
She knows why.
or you blast it with a shotgun or whatever. But
That's not how I think about it, but okay.
Something went through my mind.
But I think the penguin community, one of the best things to come out of the penguins was the penguin community. Obviously, Canada Girl, who runs one of the biggest penguin communities on the forums, has led that now for years, and sort of the teamwork that goes on with the penguin hunting is pretty awesome, and it's very admirable. And I think I've joined in with their hunts for years now, and it's fantastic. I would love to have that same sort of community build up in Old School with people, dedicating themselves to specific roles, hunting the penguins, being there at spawn time, and then echoing that back to the overflow chats. I think the XP was slightly overpowered, and I know a lot of people are against having XP multipliers in Old School. So having penguins give you 40k XP in any skill of your choosing every week probably isn't the best idea, but we can certainly work around that. But having penguins, I think, would build quite nicely into us having a nicer sort of, a sort of community developed sort of hunt, as it were. So yeah, we can do penguins or ducks or whatever the damn
Snowmen.
anybody wants them to be. Snowmen.
Yeah.
You don't get them quick
Seagulls.
enough they melt.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah,
That's how I thought.
Yeah.
John could sit on the sofa for a bit, and then you guys could see him.
Yes.
I shall give him space.
John seems insistent on fingering me today.
That's not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're all adults here.
What we got? Please, I need that XP.
You're not going to
Crystal-
wave.
Hello. Mod Matt mentioned crystal armour last night. I did because somebody said, can we have crystal armour? And I said, if that's what you really want, you can have crystal armour.
Yeah, I guess we can. And then again, I think I was actually watching your stream at that point. I remember hearing a discussion of crystal armor. I'm not sure if I caught you in the middle of discussing it or somebody was talking about it in the chat and I just saw it. I can't remember. Problem with crystal armor again is a lot of people don't want us to introduce new armors. They don't want us to devalue the armors that are currently there, such as bandos, dragon, barrows. Introducing a new armor, I guess a lot of people consider to be quite private servery. Same with new weapons and whatnot. So we do have to be quite careful with introducing new armors and weapons. We do have to make sure there is a gap in what's already there for crystal or for any new items. With crystal, we already have a shield, so I guess we could follow it up with a set. It's very easy for us to make sort of translucent items and mock them up a little bit to look like crystal. We can do that. I guess if people want crystal armor, we can do it. The problem would be how we introduce it. We could follow it up with an Elf City quest. It could be a reward opening Prividenus at the same time. I don't know.
That makes the most sense to do it that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if we were to introduce crystal, I'd probably want to introduce it through an elf quest, much in the same way you get the elf crystal bow and shield. But again, it's entirely up to the community whether or not they believe they need more crystal armor without devaluing barrows and bandos and all the other items that are currently there.
Absolutely. What else we got going on there? Interactive world map.
We've recently launched a new world map, which was made by a player called Oyu or OU. I don't actually know how you pronounce their name, but if you
That's how I say it.
if you click the if you click the world map tab on your browser or client, I'm not entirely sure if you see it on the modified client that you have to make. But if you click that tab, that opens up a new world map. So before it was referencing a map from July 2007. It now references the same map with all the added features that we've added over the years, including Nightmare Zone, new farming patches, the God Wars stuff,
Agility shortcuts.
Agility shortcuts. That was made by OU. Thank you very much for that if you're watching. Please do send us updated ones when we update the map even more. But I know to get an interactive version, I'm not entirely sure what we'd need to do that.
Well, I vaguely remember OU was working with somebody else who wanted to do an interactive one on another website. I'm not actually sure if that ever got anywhere, but
I don't remember hearing this. Ashley's coming over to explain this in more detail.
Well, it wouldn't be too hard to make an interactive one on a dynamic web page, and if that's what was opened by the link above our app,
That's true,
that would do very nicely.
If they want an in-game interactive map, that's when things get slightly tricky because we cannot open web links from the current game applet.
Although
At
it
the
is something
moment,
we would like.
Although
although
we've asked for it for a whole bunch of other reasons as well, so it's something we really want.
something on our offsite we did bring up was having that as a job that we need Engine to do for us, and we did mark it as quite a high priority. So hopefully we'll get that in some in the near future, sometime soon.
cool.
Right, Vital PVM asks for adventurer logs. Yes, we would like them, but we need a lot of support from Engine and especially web, and we've got a lot of other requests in with them at the minute, so it's not likely to happen anytime soon.
What else we got? Old School Bot Nuke. Now, you probably weren't here when you mentioned earlier that we have a new person who is just working on bots for Old School. We've got a whole person all to ourselves who's doing the bots, the cheating and everything else, so a lot of work's going on to the bots right now, and the amount of bots that are being banned has gone up hugely since he started working with us. This last Thursday is when he started. And all sorts of new things are happening, so we're moving really quickly with the bot stuff, and hopefully you'll see big differences very soon. We've already seen a large decrease in bots in game, so everything's going
I've
quite
had
well
a
at the
few people tweet me going, has there been a bot nuke? And possibly, I don't actually know what his schedule is for doing them. He seems to do them as and when he feels it's necessary, and when he feels that what he's doing, or when he's confident in what he's got. I also know he's targeting gamblers quite heavily now, so if you're gambling or you're doing any form of gambling, you're not going to be doing it for much longer.
Yeah.
Also the same with applies if you're botting, he's going to be doing that as well.
Yeah. So all good, all good. What else we got? Any more questions coming up, guys?
We got loot share from Hello Ghost. This is something we did talk about on our offsite yesterday quite extensively because obviously loot share relies on an item having a value, so we know what split of loot share points we have to give to you, and obviously as part of our offsite talk we had to talk about a trading solution, whether that be a grand exchange or an alternative. Now if we had a grand exchange, obviously we could try and devise a loot share system within that grand exchange. If we didn't, we need to look at a way of having an item price so we could then sort out a loot share system within a different system to grand exchange. One other alternative is the current RS3 alternative, which divides a drop into shards. Those shards could then be traded in for an item, and those shards are split between your team. That didn't seem to be too popular, and I'm imagining that the stream is about to start spinning or sliding up with no shards, but a loot share is a system we would like. If it's not possible to get coin share, are people still happy just having loot share? A lot of people would like coin share and loot share to come together. I don't know, it's quite a tough balance. If we can give you loot share and never have coin share, are you still happy with that? It's entirely up to you. At the same time, we'll try and do loot share, and we will try to figure out a way of introducing loot share without impacting anywhere else into the game. But a lot of people are now shouting no G at us. But
Yep, and there goes all the questions.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you up to tonight? I'm just waiting for a question to come.
I see. Change screen resolution by Gazray. This is something else the Engine team has brought to us recently. A lot of people would like full screen and HD. Whilst HD is not possible for us, we cannot ever give you HD. We could possibly give you an alternative to full screen. What Engine have told us is they could increase the aspect ratio of the screen without decreasing the resolution. So right now, obviously, you can change your screen resolution and have it really big, and your mouse gets really bigger along with it, and it moves really quickly across the screen. It doesn't look very good. Or you could use the magnifier on in your options to really zoom the screen in. Whilst those are not ideal, what the idea is that they can do that automatically for you without impacting on the resolution. Now, we don't know where they are with this, or even if they've started. This is something for us to look at in the future. But I really would like to see where we can go with this, because this would be the best thing we could offer you as an alternative to full screen. We could never give you full screen because the work involved on all the interfaces, of which there are many in Old School, and all the other systems is just too extensive for us to do with the team size we have. So this is the best alternative we could get. I'd like to see where we can go with it, and I should probably chase up Engine to see where they are and if they're willing to do it for us anytime soon.
We'll stick onto the list.
Yeah.
What else we got? Adding pet dogs to 07scape.
We probably
Yeah.
do have the models.
Yeah, I can certainly get the models from the archive because they're there.
Thanks.
If you want a bulldog, I can give you a bulldog.
One of the questions we want to poll in the next poll is about pets, isn't it? Do you want to go into that?
Yes. So, as many people will remember, we polled God Wars pets some point last year. Was it with God Wars or without God Wars? It might be before or after. I can't actually remember where it was.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we polled God Wars pets just after, and it failed by quite a small margin. Now, a lot of people were very concerned that the pets would be very spammy, and every time you enter a bank, you'd be clicking all over the place just to avoid them, and they were very, very annoying. And I address a lot of those concerns by telling you that, or by saying that we can remove the options on this. You don't click other people's pets. We'd not give them text, so they're not spamming up the bank, and they would be mega rare, so not everybody would have one. Recently, we launched the Chaos Elemental pet, and a lot of people loved that pet. And I think it's that alone has contributed quite a lot more to the Wilderness being quite popular. I get a lot of tweets from people saying, "Oh my god, I got something, and then I was killed," which is a good thing because that means there's people in the Wilderness. So we're looking at soon possibly repolling God Wars pets or more. We need to work on this. We're not actually in the business of just repolling everything that fails, but if something fails by quite a small margin, it means that the design we gave you was good, just not good enough to please you all. So we're obviously on the right tracks, but we fell short somewhere, and we need to address that. I feel we need to address that in the areas which were the ones that people raised immediately afterwards, such as the God Wars pets, specifically replacing existing drops, such as hilts and whatnot, which they wouldn't do. They'd be dropped alongside normal drops. People didn't want them to spam. We don't need them to spam. People don't want them to be clicked everywhere and be common. They won't be common. They'd be quite rare. We can address that, and we'll sort of put it up in a dev blog soon and let's see what people's opinions are before we start offering them our next poll. I would like to get mini Dag King pets as well, so you get a mini Rex following you. Maybe a Counterfight, maybe a Counterfight Queen one,
exciting.
so you get a little wasp following you.
You do a giant mole as well.
Yeah, we can do a giant mole, so your little baby mole following you.
You get some use.
Yeah, so we can make use of certain items such as the God Eggs, which are currently useless in Old School, and the God Eggs would be used for the God Wars pets. We don't want to turn it into, obviously, summoning. It's not going to be summoning. We don't want to go down the private server route of just throwing pets at you, but we do want them to be. We do want to give people an incentive to go and kill certain bosses, and the Chaos Elementals pets certainly did give people an incentive to go to the Wilderness. A lot of people have been after that. It does look pretty awesome, and the Wilderness has been, greatly improved as a result of that just one update. Yeah. So if we can do that for things like Dag Kings and God Wars, then I think we're on the right track. It's just it depends if you guys agree with it or not.
Right, we're coming up to 6 o'clock, so is there anything either of you two want to cover before we sign off?
I'm good.
We've got the two important things out, haven't we, which is two new guys?
No, a lot of people are laughing at what Ash just did, although I didn't see what Ash just did.
What did you do?
I must have gone behind you and started waving my mug through the gap in the panel.
I see.
How did we not notice that?
Well, that's because I'm looking this way. Ash is having fun.
I do that.
Yeah. Somebody just shouted "Baby Jad." We can give you a Baby Jad if you wanted to. We can give you a baby pet of almost any NPC in RuneScape.
Yeah,
It's just
1 in 1,000 drop from Jad.
we can take the
Wow.
size and just make it smaller. So everything could be a pet if we wanted it to be. We're not going to make Petscape, so we're very conscious of not having NPCs running everywhere. So
That's a good idea, that Petscape. I'm going to take that one up to the XX.
you can take that one on your own.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, I think we're probably about done. So what we got on this week? We've got guest stream tomorrow at 9 o'clock. There is also obviously my stream next Wednesday at 9 o'clock, and then back here again next Thursday. And Ash and I aren't going to be here because we're off doing other stuff. So you're going to be left with John and Dan. So
I've got something fun in mind.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I've got something really fun in mind.
So I'll see you all next Wednesday. Don't forget to follow us all on Twitter. I'm at JagXMattK, at JagXReach, at JagXJohnC, and at JagXAsh is sitting at the behind over there in the corner. See you later. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves, and enjoy Easter.
Yes, have fun. Wait for Ash to turn the stream off.
Yes.